At the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
Big Brewfessionals.
Get out your pussy sack, buddy.
You back.
You back.
Yeah.
You know man, welcome back. Welcome back, actually.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, actually, man. All esteem to YAHUAH.
All esteem to YAHUAH.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the brew spot. I'm your host. It's your favorite beloved dog.
It's your favorite dog. And I'm your co-host, Burn 'em Up, Mish.
Burn 'em up, Mish.
And I'm your co-host, Script Flow. Woo! 613 Splash from above. All esteem to YAHUAH.
All esteem to YAHUAH. We appreciate everybody coming out to brew with us today.
Appreciate it.
Big brew support. 2 muscles up. Big brew support. Hashtag y'all already know, man.
Hashtag
we appreciate everybody. We also like to give a shout out to our big bros,
Shout out.
and Ill Doctor on the ones and twos.
Shout out. Still
Man,
doctor in the house.
Definitely hear playback sounds. Been definitely dealing with playback sounds a minute.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That's right, man. If you want to check out some more things, more services that they offer, go to playbacksounds.com. Not only is the sound quality, but it's
Also in your budget. Cha-ching.
Make sure you go check that out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, man. But again, we give a special thanks. We give a special thanks and a special shout out to everybody who did come to brew with us today.
Man, shout out, man. Shout out.
Appreciate it. Today's subject matter we're going to be going over.
Ooh.
It's a bit interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Just a bit interesting. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's the comparison between the two, as we always do. One way being YAHUAH, next way being, I don't know what we may put against YAHUAH today, but since we put everything against YAHUAH to show them how it fails.
Right.
When it's next to the power.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Simply because they're trying to use something to replace him.
Right.
And not actually trying to give him his true office.
Facts. That's a fact.
So the day what we're going to be going over in comparison is, in comparison with YAHUAH, which is no comparison. We just doing this for argument's sake, I guess. It's gonna be YAHUAH versus science.
Whoa.
Science, and we're gonna be dealing with science in the more technical term versus what we know our conscious brothers speak science in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's very different than the science they speak and the science that the world speaks.
That's
you
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying? Because
That's
being
a fact.
conscious, you start to understand that. The only reason why they saying science is because of the things that they're using to actually project or interpret the things into that being put into that spiritual sense that we need.
Right.
Meaning that it's a lot of physical things that we deal with as a people. We have to always put these things in perspective for everybody. So when a brother says he's kicking the science, I just want to hear the science.
Kicking the science.
Yeah, you feel me?
Science.
But another one. But on Google don't kick science. Google just tell you what it is. And
That's
it goes into NASA and the rest of that other stuff. You feel me?
NASA, what is that?
Yeah. So they may be, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little educational. Nothing that's gonna probably shouldn't get under your skin. Something that you're just pretty light. It's pretty light. So I mean, something we do gotta come in here pretty light. It's been heavy on y'all lately. It's been heavy on y'all lately because I've been seeing all the comments and all the the lashing out, the temper tantrums.
Counting all his joy.
Yeah, because we've been talking about some real taboo things.
That's right.
You know, we're not afraid to go into the politics. We're not afraid to go into the religion, the things that they say that cause a war. You'll get the hitting for. Well, guess what? I'm ready to get the hit.
Fast.
I'm ready to get the hit by the truth. You feel me?
Yeah.
But but again, man. But again, we do appreciate everybody for showing the brew spot some major support.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
A lot of love, man.
Appreciate y'all.
And make sure y'all go look at our look up our brother website. That's here, playbacksounds.com.
Playbacksounds.com.
Yeah, so we know it's a lot of information that need to get out, and these brothers are willing to do your podcast just the same. You feel me?
Facts.
Okay.
You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby. Ain't no science.
Yeah. Heaven knows. Yeah. New age, bring it back to 80s. Same cycle, ain't nothing new. About to have them draping in them fringes. Running around hollering what it brew. If you with it, gotta be forever.
When you see me, holla forever. I ain't ever switching up the schedule. I treat a man according to a level. Toy got me standing like a soldier. Armored up later for the peace. Meanwhile, blood in the streets. Just another meal for the beast. No sleep, staying on my post. Danger coming, hope you got a plan. Everybody screaming that they grown, but you see them running around playing. Little mama say she independent, but she make her cash off dependence. Young brother dropping out of school and become a certified chemist. People popping pills like they cool. People getting killed over shoes. Used to be graffiti with the can, now they cock and spread in the school. What's a young Hebrew to do? Stay patient, lean on the truth. Everybody chasing them a swoosh. Sunday morning looking like a spoof. Ha ha, ha ha. Brother had to laugh for a second. Sit back, breathe for a second. Enjoy the breeze for a second. Knocking. Nah. Doesn't mean I'ma let you in. Well then. Get it through your knocking. Young man. Take a little discipline, my friend. If you wanna feel heaven.
Now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
I'm your host. It's your favorite beloved Daoud.
It's your favorite art.
And I'm your co-host, Mish Pot. Burn 'em up, Mish.
Burn 'em up, Mish. And on your co-host, Script Flap. Woo! 613 splash from above. All esteem to YAHUAH.
All esteem to you.
Yeah, man, and we back up in this thing. And that last song was that Heaven Knows off that Mind Culture Forever.
Oh.
By my art.
Oh.
Your favorite art.
Oh.
Beloved Daoud.
Oh, man, that's an oldie but classic.
Oh, man. Hey, man, all them things classic out.
Man, all
you
to
can
you.
pop that thing in, man.
Big facts,
man.
big facts.
Big facts, man. Shout out to Playback Sounds. PlaybackSound.com. Shout out to Lou. Shout out to Ear Doctor. Man, and for all your righteous music needs, you can go to mindcultureforever.com right now for free and get it.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
And y'all already know my section, you know what I'm saying? Quick definition and a few words, you know what I'm saying? And a few verbs. Action, you know what I'm talking about? All right, so let's take a look at what science actually, the definition of science, that's what man says. Okay. Is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment, which means man is just looking at what YAHUAH created.
Absolutely.
So, on the contrary, certain people believe that man has evolved through science, and according to science, many factors could not have had an explanation as to how it has happened, and hence cannot be believed, as science gives an explanation to every event occurring. When an individual has a proper perspective of the scriptures and actually knows that YAHUAH is the master creator and engineer of all things, he does not require evidence to prove what is happening, and this is opposed by a scientific mindset. And on today's Brewfessionals, we are going to explore what the scriptures actually say about science and all these false wonders man came up with.
Absolutely.
And try to debunk the true and only living power of YAHUAH. Please don't be dismayed.
What was quite like again interesting about that? It said physical and natural world. That's all that it's observing and through experiment of the natural and more physical world.
It's a fact.
So if you go hit a tree right now, the only thing you're gonna get is sap. Or if you cut it down, it ain't no spirit gonna sway up out of it. You know what I'm saying? Or even when mankind dies, you still don't see the ghost. You know what I'm saying? Or the spirit leave the body. Right. As it said in there, gave up the ghost. You feel what I'm saying? You never see the spirit leave the body. So they, even through all their observation and their experiment, they still cannot find out these things. Right. All right. So what they have done was giving people a sense of security through these false illusions. Though they physically seen, they have expiration dates. Right. So that means that's an illusion, because one day that may not be standing there at that particular time. Right. So through the physical things, trying to give people these subject matter, this is what have people confused, because the world have tricked the people into believing more in the creation over the creator. Fast. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's a deeper understanding to what we see outside versus what we've been told all of our life. Right. Because when we was in school, we studied physical science. If everybody know that, remember physical science, and they start to tell you about photosynthesis and different things like this. You know what I'm saying?
Should have been spiritual science.
Facts. Stuff coming, the water actually, the clouds actually sucking the water out the ocean and then coming over the land and then spring raining. Precipitation. That's what it was called, right?
Precipitation.
So now you see that these were men's, man's philosophy. Due to his observation and his experiment, you know what I'm saying, on looking at the ocean and different things, this is what conclusion he came up with. Not that he actually seen the water suck up into the cloud. That's just the conclusion that he came up with. And how did that cloud get rain in it?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that.
So he bring it to everyone else who would be simple-minded to believe that too.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they don't see it either.
Right, because so how Yahuwah, if you got to start to understand this, before like it had actually physically rained, before Noah them time, that's why it was so unbelievable that it would rain and the earth would be flooded. Folk like, man, what you talking about, fam? Rain? What's that? You know what I'm saying? Because if it was so already done happened, guess what? People would have feared that.
Right.
If they have seen something flood or water or a storm have been so great that it rocked the waters or tore up some homes and different things like that, that would have put worry in them. Like right now when you tell somebody a tsunami coming, that boy get worried. He start boarding up his house. He start evacuating the city.
Facts.
Okay, so he know who ain't playing no more. You feel what I'm saying? So when you see him do this, and the first thing documented of a rainstorm, who documented the rainstorm? The Torah.
Facts.
So who said they would bring those clouds and actually make it start to rain and flood?
Yahuwah.
That's right. So we got to get out of our minds that we control the things in the heavens.
Facts.
We're not above that. We're below that. Now in position, that will absolutely put us below the understanding of the heavens.
Right.
Which is heavenly, which is only given to those who he opens it up to.
Right. That's a fact.
Of course, science would only think down here if no one opened it up to him. Now man start assuming for himself.
Right.
Oh, well, men didn't get made from dust. That's pretty impossible. But then you got robots and stuff made out of metal and different things made that can do very terrific things that's made out of plastic and iron and things like that. So that come from the minerals out the dirt.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, one thing they can't regenerate, this is why they saying that they can't regenerate is the soul.
Right.
They can't regenerate the spirit.
That's why they got to build them robots.
That's right. Because if people could actually regenerate the spirits, man, you know that they would put a lot of spirits on some folks to carry out a lot of agendas that they can't.
Right.
As men. Everybody's not a killer.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not seeking for blood. But if that spirit is able to overtake that vessel, now you have these type of men in the earth. Feel what I'm saying?
A murdering spirit.
A murdering spirit.
Right.
You can't, if science was so intelligent, it would be able to put a pill together that would actually stop violence.
Ooh, okay.
They would put something together that would actually stop hunger.
Right.
And I mean talking about suffice
Right.
the world. Not meaning that one person or two or whatever who can afford it. No, Yahuwah don't care. It's like, who can't afford it? I put this here for you. Right. It's affordable. It's free. It's for the survival of the human race. So when you looking at science, he's like, is it truly for the survival of the human race or is it for the survival of those outside of Yahuwah? That's what it's for.
Facts.
It's for the survival. It's for the survival of those outside of Yahuwah. Because they need these concepts from him.
Yeah.
Not us. We go in the Torah and read what it says.
Right.
Yahuwah words are spiritual and all physical things were made to paint a spiritual picture.
Right.
Example would be light and day.
Okay.
Thanks. So you see light, but then the Most High had to tell you that was day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the actual body that's used to present this light, you know what I'm saying, is this sun.
Right.
Now, not as S-O-N. I mean, not S-U-N, but S-O-N.
Facts.
So if you see a light, if you know the light, see, we can also be the sons of light. So we supposed to example ourselves
Right.
as the light does.
The righteousness.
Right. If we
Right.
was in darkness and you was a son of light, wouldn't the place light up?
Ooh,
Yeah,
facts.
absolutely. So when it's talking about light and day, you got to know that we're the children of the day when we actually embrace the light.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When we embody the light. How can you embody the light? This not sci-fi. It says that the the commandments is the
Message.
lamp and the law is the lamp. I mean, the law is the light.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So how can we embody the light? We actually ingest the law.
Right.
613 like
We retain the law.
Facts.
And then when how the light comes out is through your words. It says that he gonna come and kill the serpent with the brightness of his mouth. Okay, with the brightness of his mouth, being that if he's coming in a dark time, right?
Right.
If he's coming in a very dark time, then he would be the light that blots out the sun.
Facts.
He would be the light that blots out the sun. It's a very dark time for the world, but a very light time for the people. You know what I'm saying? Because now we done made it to the new day
Right.
with the sun. Okay?
Okay.
So we in there with the sun. So therefore, there go your concept. So we start to see that the sun is really used for appointed times, seasons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Days and years.
Signs, days, and years.
Right.
It never said we supposed to worship it,
Facts.
but science seemed to think so because it does so much for the earth.
Everything rotates around it.
Without him, we would have nothing. Well, what?
That boy take breaks.
Well,
don't he?
then what do he do? I'm saying, who do he need?
Who do he need?
That's right. Okay.
That's facts up.
You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
Yeah. On top of things, see they part time. Mighty one mode. I see I'm full time. Woo. Well, and I believe that too. Yeah. Coach. Yeah, they hate it, but you who will love it. Hey, if we wrong, then let the Lord judge. Yeah, anything else get no play. Don't waste time, cause I know it's all fake. Yeah, they hate it, but you who will love it. Yeah, hey, if we wrong, then let the Lord judge. Yeah, a lazy man ain't getting no trait. Waiting on you, you be waiting all day. Family only, we don't deal with us. These blow pop leaders just a bunch of suckers. They big and sorry like they Ruben studded. They for the people what they never uttered. They shout for flavor, hope they like it spicy. I invested in my soul and most would call it pricey. For the Father make a dash, people call me hype. Keep the glow on extra bright, they wanna change the lighting. 613, the mighty know the lingo. Yeah, these boys in pink are looking so flamingo. Bunch of actors with the work, they think they Al Pacino.
You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
I'm your host, beloved Daoud.
And I'm your co-host, Script Flare. Woo!
Woo. And I'm your co-host, Mishpat, Burn 'em Up Mish. And you back at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
Back.
And we at Playback Sounds. Shout out to Luz and Ear Doctor.
Shut up.
And that song that just went off right there was Flay off that Mind Culture Forever 2. You can go, them boys Flay, ain't it? Hey, you go get there on mindcultureforever.com right now for more righteous music.
For more.
Absolutely.
And in this segment right here, we're going to be going into the world perspective versus Yahuwah's perspective.
Ooh,
On dealing with, well, science versus Yahuwah. So in the world, they give it all to science, and they say that science is all that they need. But the definition of science is, as we went over earlier, the observation of the physical and the natural world.
Right.
So truly, they are only observing something they seen that since they was born, which was here before them. But they can't let you know the age of certain trees and things as if they was there.
Absolutely.
See, but from Yahuwah's perspective, he has given us the rundown on what he created and why he created.
Facts.
Simple as that.
Facts, right.
So it's like, at the end of the day, which one sounds legit? Because to me, it sounds like one the store owner and the other the window shopper.
Ooh, bullet.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeesh.
That's right, Keith.
Okay.
That's my opening to the perspective.
Okay.
That was a proper perspective.
Now that's right. Okay.
Ooh.
We could go into scriptures
We could.
and really explain how the sun is actually in example of the greater light above.
Right.
Because even though he was in earth, we still gotta look up to him.
Ooh.
You feel what I'm saying? We still have to look up to him because in his way how he was like a big brother, little brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's just, on the common sense level. Big brother, little brother. You look up to your big brother when he doing well. You feel me?
Facts.
So that's what it is. But I do want to I do want to read something though. In this Colossians 1:16.
Facts.
And it says, "For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him." Now we actually go look at the word greater.
Right.
You get mayor or meor or something. Let me get it. I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
And
Pull it up.
with this, hold up, I got it right here too. With this, what we giving in comparison of the greater, right? We're gonna see what it means. Okay, so you get the word gadol in the Hebrew, Gadol.
Gadol.
Okay, and that means it's important things as importance. Okay.
Okay.
So when we dealing with greater, it's talking about older, number, intensity. So your greater. See why it says a righteous man is more excellent than his neighbor because of the intensity of the way he do the scripts.
Facts.
That's what makes him greater. Or you can say the numbers. That's what make him greater.
Facts.
Or you can say just in sound or louder than.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That make them greater. Or it can be because of the age, as we were just talking about with Mashiach. That makes him greater because he did it first. In importance or important things. Great, distinguished of men, or Yahuwah himself. Okay? So when you talk about great or greatness or greater, we cannot be talking about nothing but something that distinguished men.
Right.
Okay, because this is what Yahuwah made the world for. Now, we are supposed to be here to protect our women and children, but we are supposed to do greater things in this earth because it was given to us to do it.
Right.
You know, right? So you get Gadol or Gadol, which is for the greater, but then it derived from the root word of it is Gadal, Gadal. Okay. And it means to grow, to become great or important, promote, make powerful, praise, magnify, do great things. So to grow up, to become great, to be magnified. So this is what it's talking about. Us, if you look at the sun and then you look at the moon, then the moon is given power by the power, the actual power. The actual source of light is what gives it its source of light.
The reflection.
The reflection. So when we look at these things, we have to see the deeper understanding in all these things.
Right.
Now, every life form where you see the sun actually bring that energy to that sense of life.
Yeah.
Then now we seeing what Mashiach truly does.
Bring the life.
Bring the life
Sheesh.
for every vessel, every living vessel on earth.
No photosynthesis.
No photosynthesis.
None of
It's
that.
none of that because this is something that was created by him to do these things. So it was for a sign too, which is a monument or something that should bring something to our remembrance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being that the sun cannot bring things to our remembrance but physical science class, then we don't have nothing to compare it with. But if you actually read the scriptures and actually got a good, keen understanding of where the Most High was coming from, his perspective, then we could actually have something to compare and contrast.
Right.
So science being the one sitting alone and saying, the Most High is a lie. But then on the same time, even Yahuwah believe this science is a lie.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's hard to be, just as you see, it's hard to discern which one is true if you haven't read both.
Right.
Now, if you've seen one from one perspective, it's easy to see it from the first person perspective because he can give you everything from that one, and it sounds good and it sounds right. But when you got something to compare it to, now you can make a great decision. You can see if you want to still stay over here and this sounds better, or if you want to go over here because this sounds better.
Right.
But you are able to make a sound decision. A sound decision, not no halfway decision as people always do. Right. So a lot of this stuff is spiritual. We was born into this world, right? Yeah, of course. A lot of these things that were told us was given to us from our elders, our mothers, our fathers, people, our teachers, people, things like that. That's right.
Yeah.
So when you actually born again, as the scriptures make a reference to being born again, that means you have to clean all of that out because now you're being raised by your spiritual father versus your physical father. Right. Now your physical father may have been a all right man, may have did his job, handled his business, but he couldn't edify you more spiritually. So that's where you need YAHUAH at. That's not to say that brother is a bad brother. It's just a lot of these things are not given to all of man.
Right.
He only revealed it to his saints. As you see, it was saying right there to be greater. It was talking about the intensity. Maybe my father wasn't as intense as me for these scripts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe your father wasn't as intense as you in these scripts. Maybe that he didn't know it. He may have knew it, but he just wasn't that intent. Now, him being older than you, of course, you're supposed to respect him. But if he didn't, but you can respect him only to a point where he done shown you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then everything else, I can't respect you on that because you don't know that.
Right.
How am I gonna give you some respect about something you don't know? That means I'm gonna respect you, listen to your lie, and believe your lie.
I can't do that.
I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you stop right here, and that was your limit,
right,
then you got a limit
of respect.
That's right. You got a limit of respect too. Now if I go the Father who is endless, you know what I'm saying, knowledge. I could keep going day for day for day for day trying to equal up to His Majesty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can work to be a good example of what He want me to be in this earth. The more we become like Him, the more people perceive us as righteous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now with the world, they would just make you a scientist. You know what I'm saying?
Brewfessionals, we have a question off the internet. The question is,
let's get it.
Is science more of a business or facts?
Business or facts.
Okay, now I would say being that science is actually based on physical things that do exist, right. I would have to say a little of both. And the reason why I would say fact is literally if somebody say a tree right there, you can't say that's not facts. You have to say facts.
Facts, because right there.
Just as hard. But why I feel that it's monetary is because somebody would be observing that tree and chopping it down to make a house and sell it for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Not to give a man an actual spiritual understanding of what this tree made for and why it's very important to preserve it and keep it. You know what I'm saying? Now, they'll give you the qualities of why you should keep the tree. Right? They'll tell you, man, it changes the carbon monoxide to oxygen. It provides shade and fruit and food and then cut it and make a house with it.
What? I can't breathe.
I can't breathe, bro. That cat walking on.
So I would say a little bit of both. I believe they take the facts and manipulate the facts to make money. You know what I'm saying? So we can't say that they don't talk facts because they literally looking at something we can all see today and just giving you their take on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now
what they imparted with.
Right. Now I don't call that facts. That's what part they use the slogans they use the $9.99 to get you the $9.99. That's right. That's right. Because it gotta seem more special than what it is for somebody to make it marketable.
Value. Man.
You know what I'm saying? That was a good question, my dear brother. Okay. Yeah, man. But yeah, as far as like the importance of knowing, like I said, the difference between the two are very important. So we make these sound decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because these is something that we have to teach our children,
right? So
that nobody swindles them. It's okay for them to know the truth and then go to physical science.
Because they'll be able to put the truth to the physical science.
Right, they already know. Fit me. You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
Yeah. Brothers. You gotta be. Sheesh. It's your favorite eye. Oh. Yeah. Greater light shining down on me. Yeah, we call it that glow. That glow. King guys looking down on me. You know it's about to be a show. Everybody want the crown away, but can they handle that load? The world made me no guarantees. Well, YAHUAH city paving. Go, 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 go. Yeah. YAHUAH word is a promise. Made for those living honest. Raise it up, oh he done it. Now they speaking brew bunnies. Brew machine, I'm bionic. Superpower, no comment. Heat brews and not jerk. Brew flavor, we herby. Flipping scripts, no I'm living script. Whole thing, I ain't picking scripts. Simple men argue with the scripts. You probably think the fruit of Mrs. Smith. About the law, brother, kept my drip. YAHUAH smoke, you can take a whiff. We lifted off, walk the higher. You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
Yes. And I'm your co-host, Burn 'em Up Mish Pot.
And I'm your co-host, Spliff. Woo! The 613 Splash from above. All Esteem to YAHUAH.
All Esteem to YAHUAH. And I'm your host. It's your favorite beloved Daoud.
It's your favorite art.
Man, man, y'all already know this my segment, the Mantle Moments. You know what I'm saying? Mantle Moments, man.
Mantle Moments,
Dun,
man.
dun, 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? We get a little song line like that.
Facts.
Hell fire.
You feel me? Yeah, man. Shout out to the big bros, as Brewfessionals.
Shout out.
Here at Playback Sounds.
Shout
That's
out.
that's Big Bro Luz and Big Bro Ear Doctor on the ones and twos.
Facts.
Please go check out. Please. If you ain't doing nothing, go check out the playbacksounds.com.
Yeah.
Get these services up. You know what I'm talking about? Because we know y'all need a little podcast too. You know what I'm saying? We definitely, because a lot of folks been coming up under the podcast
Oh, man.
saying that that's a lie. This is what so you need to start you a podcast. Look, and we ain't even hating. We gonna send you to the same spot we do the podcast.
Facts.
So you can do your podcast too.
Let's go.
Okay, what? And that music, the song that went off, right? Mm-hmm. That song that went off. Let me get back to the subject matter before we veer too much off. Okay, it was Paved in Gold.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
One of my favorites.
One of my favorites.
And if you're looking for good righteous music, man, you know what I'm saying? That is consistent and on time and big bulk, big storehouse over there.
Big
All
bulk,
Esteem to YAHUAH. Go to www.mindcultureforever.com. Shout out to Young Digi.
Shout out Digi.
DJ Slash, y'all know that. Man. But yeah, back to the subject matter, science versus YAHUAH.
Science versus YAHUAH.
Science versus YAHUAH. Is that even a match?
It's not even a match. It's about 400 years it's been a match. 400 years it's been a match. You know what I'm saying? And not a match for YAHUAH per se, but for people to make their decision.
Ooh.
Okay.
Facts.
So
who's your side?
I'm gonna open up with a little amount of chip. You feel me?
Man on chips.
Psalm 96:10.
Ooh.
And it reads, "Say among the heathen that YAHUAH reigneth." So I don't care if you tell me what a harp system did, what complained now, so who flying spaceships, who doing all that.
Not the harp.
Who cares what these folks talking about?
Facts.
Right?
Facts,
It says, "Say among the heathen that YAHUAH reigneth." So when he say, "No, you ain't gonna be able to eat if you don't serve me. If you don't believe this, you ain't gonna be able to get anything for your family." It told me to say among the heathen.
Ooh.
Say among the
YAHUAH reigneth. YAHUAH is the boss. Okay? "The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously." So we're saying YAHUAH who reigneth.
That's facts.
In a minute, the world is gonna be set. It's gonna be established to what nobody can move it no more.
Facts.
You ain't gonna be able to move nobody from Israel. Nobody's gonna fall for that boo-boo.
It's gonna be established.
Facts. Nobody gonna fall for that foo-foo. It said,
Okay.
and he shall judge the people righteously.
Okay.
No foo-foo.
No foo-foo.
Man on.
Man on.
Okay. 2 muscles up for that.
He ain't going. The Most High ain't going for that. Okay, no more. So when people start to tell you that the sun is this and that, you gonna say, nah, it ain't. That's why when it told you when I'm in the desert, and people say I'm in the desert,
Don't go.
don't go. Don't go. You gotta say amongst the heathen that it's Yahuwah who reigneth. Because he
Fact.
told us how it would be in that time. You know how people coming up with these things. Well, it's going to be spaceships swooping in here, and they going to be swinging people up. Just them sweet chariots. They going to lift us up, take us out of space, blow this earth up, and then come back and bring us back.
Wow. Whoa. What is
Fam.
that, fam?
Fam, okay, fam.
That boy on his
Okay, fam.
Independence Day.
Okay, fam. Ain't nothing. But see, yeah, how his story don't... How his story sound like a blockbuster.
Well, facts. Oh, facts.
A real blockbuster.
Facts. Now that's science.
Facts. It sound like a real blockbuster.
Now that's science. Sci-fi.
Now that's sci-fi. Now that's not sci. That's sci-fi.
That's sci-fi.
Yeah, science fiction.
Science fiction.
Now I can't look over there and say, "Oh, facts." I can't look over there.
No, I don't see a tree standing there.
I can't see that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So a lot of this stuff wasn't intended for us to gravitate to.
Facts, huh?
Okay. The heathen has his science, which is his imagination, or lies to go against what the Most High established from the beginning.
Facts.
Okay? A carnal man understands carnal things, but a spiritual man understands spiritual things. Okay? That's what we got to understand. But see, what he's talking about carnally, men can see the law, but they don't understand the law. Because there's a spiritual understanding of the law, because these are words instructing you to do something, live in a manner that you already own something. So it's training you up to be an owner. So even here, when you don't own nothing, you have to live like you own something.
You gotta live like you want.
That's spiritual.
Sheesh.
So it's hard to do that if you're living by sight and not by faith. Because where we're going, we are going to be owners. But where we are right now, we are not. So we're actually trying to build ourselves up so when we do inherit the things that we do inherit, we can maintain them and hold on to them so that our people will no longer end up in these conditions anymore.
Facts, huh?
Spewed out their land, having no place to go, and everybody seeing them in nakedness and thirst and won't cover them up nor give them some water. They charge you a water bill every month, right?
That's a fact.
Big facts.
Right on time.
That's right. Even if you go to the Must or the Salvation Army or something like that, you still got to pay your little $2.50 for your jeans now.
That's a fact.
Some people only have $2.50. Now I know that thing sound crazy, but for some people it's hard to scrape up $2.50
Facts, huh?
out the blue.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? But see, with Yahuwah, he guarantees.
That's a guarantee.
If you do this for me, I guarantee to pay you.
Facts.
Now this man saying, go to college, get a good job, and we still probably won't pay you what you're worth.
Fact.
Okay.
After you done kicked out $250,000 for it.
Sheesh.
Brewfessionals, we have a question from the internet.
Okay.
At Yaquan. Scientists say energy never dies. Is this spirit energy?
Absolutely. And see, now we can say with that science right there, we can say, because we can see it, it's like facts.
Facts.
All right. Because we do operate in a certain way, which is spiritual.
Facts.
That is the energy that we give. Like when somebody say, well, you giving out some bad energy, that's a bad spirit. That's filthy.
Ooh.
That's really a bad spirit. So that is truth, Aki, that you asked that. That was another great question.
Message.
You know what I'm saying, from the internet, that we do actually, that energy that it's speaking of is talking about that spirit, that set apart spirit, or it can be a wild spirit as well. Okay.
Facts.
One more question from at Yolanda. What happens once the spirit leaves the physical body?
Okay. I'm gonna just open up with one little script.
Okay,
You know, just to give it something like that. And we always say we come from the proper perspective of the Torah or the scriptures. Okay, the prophets, and all the half Torah, you know, all that good thing, the real bread. Okay,
Facts.
So we're gonna go from Daniel 12 and 2. Okay, and it says, and many of them that slept in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So when a man dies, his spirit lays in the dust until it's time for it to be judged. It lays there with that carcass. See, a lot of people will say
like they're just sleeping.
Right. So a lot of people will go into it and be like, well, you're walking around hunting people and you can see this thing and you in purgatory and hold up, Holmes. Hold up. Now somebody was trying to tell a story. And I did see it, but it reminded me of this. Remember that woman who came out with that book, said the Revelations of Hell?
Mary K. Baxter.
Fact, in Heaven and Hell.
Mary K. Baxter.
The story sounded similar to that. That's why I couldn't believe or really perceive that what he was saying was true, because the scriptures tell us, nah, man, you fell short of the glory of Yahuwah.
Fast.
Why would your soul still be running up, walking around? No, if he knocked that vessel down, that soul down too. It said, "Fear the man that can killeth the soul, killeth the flesh, and destroy the soul."
Facts.
Message.
So therefore, if he can destroy and do whatever he wants to with whatever, because it all belongs to him. No, you're not up walking around doing nothing. As many of them that slept in the dust of the earth, they shall awake. You're gonna wake up as if it was the same day. If you got killed during the of a robbery, in progress of a robbery, you're gonna wake up like you was hitting that lick. And you're gonna be there to wake up to that everlasting contempt. Because you fell short of the glory because you wanted to steal. And somebody knocked your head off. Which you deserved.
What you deserve.
Because it said if a man catch you in his cookie jar, you know what I'm saying?
Take you out.
He could take you out and your blood is on your own head.
That law.
See, this is where people get twisted. Now they start to say, "Oh, this is spiritual," and this man is having dreams, and he the Most High gave it to him, saying that these dark places and this was gonna be. It's like
he was such a good father.
Fam,
no dreamer of dreams.
You a dreamer of dreams.
Be well.
Yahuwah didn't tell him that. That's Deuteronomy 13.
Facts.
Went all the way down. See, you know these brothers don't deal with the law. They don't like people who deal with the law.
Facts.
Don't like that because the spirit different. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts,
now we can literally say, "Oh, let's do the law," and we're gonna do the law. You feel me? We're gonna do the law, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That don't necessarily mean it's right. They absolutely correct. Just because I'm physically saying I'm doing the law, and just because I can physically read it, and that don't mean that I'm interpreting it the right way. That is right. But guess what? You would know the man by his spiritual fruits.
Facts.
Spiritual fruits.
Facts.
If Yahuwah ain't slammed me down for talking his words, I'm not a false guy.
That's a fact.
If my way ain't leading millions of people here, then we're not the broad gate.
Right.
You feel me?
Facts.
You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
Yeah. Burn them all, miss. Brothers.
It's your favorite eye.
For you. Yeah. Never entertain devils. I ain't written on my schedule. Ducking Proverbs 7. I like 31 better. Way better, way better. Doing all that I tell them. New wine out the door. Old wine in the cellar. Way better, way better. Yeah, Yahuwah way better. Taught me how to do it better. Way better, way better. New wine at the door. Old wine in the cellar. Way better, way better. Yeah, Yahuwah way better. Boasting all in Yahuwah. He the one to run the show. I'm less alike with the glow. I'm just doing what I'm told. Never bound to a man. Upper room, something else. Gave it all up for y'all. It didn't care how they felt. Fam only, that's a motto. Tryna earn up tomorrow. Righteous living, that's an auto. I got no time to ball. Found out how to live. Fell out with my sorrow. Rule I taught me everything. Tour only thing will follow. What they really talk about? We prepared for the drought. How we ready for the drought? Cause we came up without. Outcast to the world. But YAHUAH took me in. Did me wrong, no revenge. Me and Wicked never blend. Learn lesson, now I got it. Never leave home without it. Put my faith in the knowledge. Man, it got me feeling brolic. Who I was, what about it? Nowadays, rock solid.
You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
And I'm your host. It's your favorite beloved YAHUAH.
It's your favorite
It's your favorite
And on your co-host Script Flat, woo, 613 Splash.
Splash.
I was into you.
Splash.
And it's your co-host, Burn 'em Up, Mish. And I'm back right now with the up-and-coming events.
Okay.
That's dealing with the coach and your favorite Brewfessionals.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
That's sweet.
In January 18th through the 20th, we'll be out there having a brew out in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, that's January 18th through the 20th. In February, we're going to be moving to Cincinnati, February 22nd through the 24th for the Midwest Brew Out.
Absolutely.
Out there with our rep, Tassel Gang and Ty Serve. Shout out. And in March 2nd through the 3rd, we're going to be out there in Augusta, Georgia, in Payne College. And then we'll be headed down south to Jacksonville for the James 101 Conference in June.
That's right.
Now we done with the upcoming events. It's time for that manna chip with your favorite
Chill.
Yeah. Okay.
I know y'all hungry.
You know that I'm gonna go with Colossians 2:8. Okay. I'm gonna go with Colossians 2:8. I know a lot of times we loyal to life. We gonna go into
The law is the life.
we just gonna run you down in the renewed testament, okay?
Okay.
Something my big brother Paul said, he always misinterpreted. So Colossians 2:8, it says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world." That means the principal things of the world, the most important things of this world, what the world says.
Right.
Okay? And not after Mashiach. So we don't go by what the scriptures tell us, we go by what the traditions of the world is. It said, beware lest we are deceived by these things.
Facts.
So if we're not watchful and we're not careful, we'll end up being more confused than at an understanding.
Facts.
Confused and edified.
That's right.
Sheesh.
So you know what I'm saying? YAHUAH the creator says we are his creation, from the low state molded into a noble being, from darkness and to bring the light into the world. That's what we ought to be.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Yeah.
we go from the animal to noble.
Facts.
All right? But you got to stop believing that animals turn into men. Like monkeys, literal monkeys turn to men. They don't know that concept is from the scripts.
Man.
We were first regarded as beasts. And then when we start to get when the Most High breathed His breath into us, we became men, living souls.
Ooh, hey.
Bullet.
So now your monkey story not right.
Bye-bye,
Stop trying to stop that science. He couldn't understand the word, so he made some up.
That thing smoked him out.
It is.
You are now at the brew spot with the Brewfessionals.
It's the Brewfessionals, baby.
And it's a wrap.